Exclamation, everybody, and welcome back to another channel update. This one is going to be for both September and October of 2016 because I've been busy and I've been missing out on things, and it's actually Halloween right now, so this is going to be late by a day. It's going to be November by the time you hear this, but I'm doing the best I can right now. I try to do these every single month just to give you guys a little I guess transparency report on the channel, just give you an idea of what's going on, things I'm looking at, and what's been happening, because I'm not usually very good at communicating it prior to that, or if I do communicate it, it is like Twitter thing, but that's usually if I remember, those kinds of things. So the game in the background is a Mass Effect 2, and I only recorded about 17 minutes, so I better make this one fast and succinct, so I will try my best here. So we start off with some stats on the channel as it stands today. So we went from, in August, we went from 1,646 videos to now, as of the end of October, we're at 1,749 videos, so over 100 more. We went from 352 subscribers to 362 subscribers, so 100 videos plus 10 subscribers. It's not too bad, not too shabby. And we went from total channel views of 86,862 to 91,805 views. We're getting rather close to the 100,000 channel views, I guess, milestone, if you want to call it that. I don't know. But that's we're still a ways off from that, but it's nice to see that that's approaching eventually. And we went from 8,633 minutes watched to 9,217 minutes watched over the period of 28 days. The last 28 days average watch time. So that's just the just a little since number of minutes watched is a big thing on YouTube now. I figured I'd start to track that number. Also, something new for this month. I'll give you a little bit of statistics on the live streaming stuff that I do. So the Memory League Doom channel over on YouTube has 25 subscribers. We've been slowly getting quite a few here and there. I've been seeing a lot more activity on YouTube Gaming whenever I stream on Fridays. Very happy to see that. I'm interested to see that I get more interest over there than I do on really any of the other streaming services. Even though I restream, so I restream to both YouTube, Twitch, Hitbox, and now Beam Pro. And speaking of those, on Twitch, I have 47 followers. That's a slight uptick from where we were. One follower over on Hitbox, which has been at one follower for many, many months. And one follower over on Beam, and I've only been on Beam like 3 weeks, so that's probably not too shabby, I would say. So that is where the statistics are for those things. As far as series going on, obviously we're in the midst, well into the midst of Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I will be playing that continuously until we finish it. I've been leaning more towards the longer episodes for that, just because it is a long-form RPG, and YouTube does kind of reward you for longer videos nowadays. So, and I see a lot of other channels that are doing it, like for RPGs and stuff, doing these long videos where they usually, if they're live streaming or something, they'll just cut it up into a few hour chunks or so. So I thought why not do that? I'm usually on the long side anyway when it comes to videos, so why not continue that trend, and at least this way here, each episode of Mankind Divided, I try to chunk it up into actually accomplishing things, because I do spend a lot of time in that world just going around finding random stuff, and rather than have like a lot of 15-minute episodes of just random finds, I thought it'd be good to kind of chunk them together and have I actually accomplished something in this episode. I actually got a side quest done or something like that. So that's the way I have been editing it, and so on and so forth. And believe me, as much as you've seen, I have edited out quite a bit. I'm at something like 30, maybe even 40 hours into the game now, and according to my my editing software, according to Vegas Pro, I've only published about 15 or so hours. So that should give you a good idea that I've been leaving a lot on the cutting room floor, as I've been pretty ruthless, but not so much that you don't see, at least get a good gist of what I've been doing and what's been going on there. The same thing is true for Star Trek Online. Man, have I been cutting lots of that down, because usually when I sit down to play that, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Just because some of the battles take very long to do now. Since we're further on into the game, I'm up in the high 50s as far as level goes. Though that said, I haven't really died as far as space combat goes in quite some time, so that's pretty good. But it's yeah, I've been cutting that down as much as possible, just keeping the exciting battles in and cutting out all the cruft, as it were. So that's been going pretty well. I've been actually getting those down to like 45 minutes or so. So that's interesting. Not a whole lot of views on that series, but I didn't really expect that much. I mean, it is an MMO, and I am at like episode 24 now. So usually when you get up into the high 20s in your episodes, it's only the diehards that are going to watch them anyway. So that's fine. I don't really necessarily do it for the views. I do it because I enjoy it, and I wanted to celebrate the 50th anniversary this year. So that's where we're going with that. And I still have a long way to go in that in Star Trek Online. And speaking of MMOs and stuff, I've been looking at a few. I still want to get back into Elder Scrolls Online. I think what I'm going to do, more than likely, is try, as much as I can, try to record multiple episodes of Star Trek Online, and then that way I can switch off each week, because normally I record Star Trek Online on Sunday nights, but if I can record maybe 2 episodes of it, which is going to be interesting because that's like 4 hours of recording, just to get it down to like 2 40-minute episodes or so. If I can do that, then the next week after that I can record maybe 2 episodes of Elder Scrolls Online, and then keep swapping back and forth one week over the other, and then that way it'll be a nice it'll keep it relatively consistent for you guys. You'll be able to see the episodes as they come out, and I might be able to bookmark them or bookend them for you. So we'll see how that works out. I do want to get back into that if I can. And speaking of the Elder Scrolls, I want to get back into the Elder Scrolls Legends. We still have a bunch of single-player stuff to do in that. That's the new card game that's still in beta from Bethesda. And I'm also going to continue as much as I can with the single-player of Chronicle RuneScape Legends. That single-player in that game, which is also a card game, is we're at a really difficult spot there where I'm constantly losing. And I want to try to get to a point where I can actually get a good winning hand there. So it's going to take me a little while to get to that. So that's going to be kind of here and there whenever I can actually make some progress in it. But I thought, Elder Scrolls Online, or I'm sorry, Elder Scrolls Legends would also be a good one in there. Because then you kind of have 2 little card games that you can look at. I know that card games may not be the most interesting content in the world. But right now, I've been extremely busy. There's a couple things going on right now. Right now, I'm towards the end of the year tends to be a busy time for me, both at work and at home here, because I usually have a lot of family stuff to do on the weekends, and then during the week, I have some deadlines that I have to get to. A lot of production code that needs to be written or finalized for production and all that stuff. Nothing, deadlines aren't necessarily killing me. I'm on track to meet them, but they do create some stress. It's good stress, but it's still stress nonetheless. So I've got that working on my mind. Plus, The temperature has gone down to a point where I've had to turn the heat on in here. And if you followed the channel for any length of time, you know that the first time, the end of the year when I first turned the heat on after having it off for so long, it just completely wrecks my body. Like I just, my sinuses are clogged up in a mess. My sleep pattern is not very good. Like I sleep the normal amount of time that I would sleep, but I don't get the same quality of sleep. So I wake up feeling like I've only had a half an hour sleep when in fact I've been unconscious at least for about 6 hours. So it makes things, I'm almost zombie-like at times, and it makes it very difficult. As you know, as I sit here and talk to you, I still have to record a side quest video for this week, and I intend on doing it, but it's going to be a protracted one. It's going to be one where I go just get in and get out and say my piece and be done with it. But it's I've got a headache already, and it's like I'm trying to stay upbeat about things and all that stuff. So it's just that kind of thing that I have to work through. Eventually, after a couple weeks, my body will get into some kind of rhythm where I can at least get some kind of sleep, whether it's on a Saturday or not. Like I can tell you, this last Saturday, I went to bed at like 11 o'clock, and I passed out until 10 in the morning the next day, which is unusual because usually when you're an old person like me, everything starts to hurt around 7:30 in the morning, and you're like, well, I can't sleep anymore because everything's hurting right now. But that was not the case on Saturday. On Saturday, I was just out. So it's working through all that stuff. So please be patient. Also, side quest videos, as I was mentioning earlier, I've been trying to get a steadier stream of side quest videos. I've actually had quite a few games that I've looked at and I've rejected as videos for, at least initially. I've had quite a few. I was looking at Smash and Grab, which now is no longer available for purchase. I was looking at Dead Star, which is now getting shut down. I have a couple others that I've been looking at, but I haven't quite gotten the gist of yet, so I don't feel like I can make a video of it because I don't feel like I'm going to do justice to it. In addition to that, I'm also trying to look at a lot of mods and stuff. I know there's a new skin for Uplink, which is an older game, but the new skin gives it a kind of a fresh look to it, and I've been playing around with that a little bit. I've been trying to look at a bunch of, mods for other games. Like, I know Sins of a Solar Empire has a bunch of mods for it. There was one I was planning on doing a look at like Star Trek Armada. Was it Star Trek Armada 3? Was it that they called it? It was a mod for Sins of the Solar Empire. I wanted to look at that. There's a Wing Commander mod for it. There's a Wing Commander mod for Homeworld Remastered that I've been keeping an eye on. A bunch of things, a bunch of mods out there that I would like to actually dig into at some point and take a look at. So SideQuest is going to be, I'm still going to be looking at new games as they come down, or well, not new games, but I'm going to keep looking at games that are out there and available on Steam. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure I also cover some mods, which I've never been shy about doing in the first place. It's just having so much trouble as I have been lately trying to find games that I can wrap my head around pretty quickly and make good videos out of has been more difficult than usual. So I've been trying to sort of balance out the queue there so that we can still continue to have SideQuest videos, because honestly, I get the most feedback and the most views from those videos than I do pretty much anything else other than Cube Ramblings. So, as much as I enjoy doing Let's Plays and stuff, and I will continue doing Let's Plays, nobody really watches them. It's really, people want to see, one-off videos a lot of times, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. The whole reason I do the one-off videos is because they give me they sort of balance out my own brain a little bit, because when you're playing a game for a very long time and you're immersed in it and all that stuff, you start to you start to get a little bit bored of it. You start to feel like you're in a bit of a rut. You know, like Deus Ex, as much as I enjoy it, I start to feel like I'm in a rut after a while. Like it's the only thing I'm doing, and because I have to drag it out for so long, due to my lack of time. So having these other things to look at kind of refreshes my batteries a little bit too, and keeps me thinking, keeps me interested in the whole process. So I like to continue doing that and all those things. And I also have a few old games that I've been wanting to look at. I do want to eventually do Tachyon the Fringe and a few others. I may or may not have purchased Star Wars Galaxies, even though you might say to yourself, well, that's been shut down. But actually, really, there's a community out there for it that's still running. So we'll see about those things. And my streaming stuff, as I mentioned many, many times, I do want to expand the amount of time that I do streaming. I found another like long form RPG that I kind of want to play called Ember that I would like to play on a stream, as well as I have a lot of long form games I'd like to play on stream, or at least games that I think would be better on stream than doing a let's play of. So I want to try to expand that. I don't know how to do it yet. My thought was maybe I would do it on Tuesdays, but I get a lot of stuff done for the week on Tuesdays, so maybe it would be more like a Thursday, Friday thing. But as you've noticed, Saturdays I've been forgetting to actually put videos up because Friday nights I've been streaming all night. So it's I don't know. The trade-offs there. We'll have to see. I have to just figure out in my mind how I'm going to do it, and then just do it. Or maybe I'll just stream on Saturday nights or something. I don't know. It's always been a difficult one. Saturday nights is kind of difficult too because that's where I do. It takes me several hours to do Cube Ramblings and get that together and all that stuff. Unless I can figure out a way to record Cube Ramblings earlier in the day, which I've been wanting to do for a while, rather than waiting till late at night to do it. But we'll see. I'm trying all these things, and I'm hoping for the best. And I'm very happy and glad that you guys have stuck around. And I want to thank you all for checking out the channel and keeping me abreast of things, and just sticking around and giving me the benefit of the doubt as we go through these things. So thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.
The Illusive Man is waiting for you in the other room.